So my girlfriend just said something interesting to me that made me think about the extent to which we express veganism in terms of belief, as opposed to anything other than belief, you know. But you said your brother regarded you as, and I think he criticized you for being easily manipulated on the grounds that you had just watched this one documentary and then become vegan. Now, in reality, you did a bunch of research. The documentary sparked your interest, and you decided to go vegan. But, you know, I think in Western culture, belief, I mean, you know, we're really taught to regard belief as something hallowed and profound, and that people aren't allowed to criticize or has to be criticized in some kind of special way, given some kind of special regard. And I think many vegans imagine they're leading with a strong suit. They're playing a strong card. Like if people ask you, why are you vegan? And you answer, I believe blank. I think that's basically what Gary Francione does. I mean, he says, I believe blank. And if you don't, you're evil. You know what I mean? I think it's actually a really weak way, you know, to approach veganism. I mean, this is why I had one viewer quit my Patreon over this. I always say I think there are many competing definitions of veganism. I don't think there is one definition of veganism. I think we have a lively intellectual discourse to some extent because there's more than one. Some people I think would define it as a belief that blank, therefore you do blank. Mm-hmm. But you know, a lot of the time when I was talking to professors at UVic or something, I wouldn't start with that. I'd start with something that framed it in terms of, you know, I'm doing the best I can. You know, I'm trying to do something positive, you know, ecology, ethics, animals, etc. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, I'm doing the best I can. What about you? You know, as a way of presenting it, I can't say it's more pretentious or less pretentious, but it's different, you know?
Yeah. Well, the belief argument is like testifying, you know, like let me spread the word of veganism to you. Like this is my belief, and this is why.
I guess also there's the delusion, which is really encouraged by Western religions. And Gary Francione does believe in God. He believes in a monotheistic deity of some kind. He's not a conventional Christian, but he's talked about his eccentric religious beliefs. I think there's a sense that belief is for everyone, and that belief is something everybody can do, and indeed, from a Christian perspective, that everybody ought to do. Yeah. You know, so maybe that's why they imagine, like, if I play the belief card, people are going to come over to my side because they're going to share in the belief. They're going to want to believe what I believe. And it's kind of weird because, like, the fact that we're having this conversation already, me and the professor, me and the meat eater, whoever it is, almost inevitably means that they don't believe it, and they're never going to believe it. So why even talk about, you know, belief? Mm-hmm. As opposed to talking about, I'm trying to make a difference. You know, man? That's something else. Sorry, just bit my own tongue. We're just eating on camera, sorry. Biting my tongue aside, you know, a lot of time, when I was actually talking to professors at Victoria, what I said to them was, I'm interested in the difference I can make. There are a lot of situations where I can't make a difference. Cambodian politics, at one time close to my heart. You look at the disaster of any given set of elections in Cambodia. I can't make a difference. You know, even if I write an article on the internet, even if I make a YouTube video, it's like, damn, I can't make any difference. You know, this is a difference I can make. And in general, you know, politically and philosophically and under so many headings, or even in terms of research and study, I'm interested in the difference I can make. You know, That's how I do research and what have you. It's how I try to plan for the future of my life. You know, and this is the difference I can make, you know, being vegan. So there's no belief there, and it's challenging the other person in a different way because it's saying to them, why don't you care about the difference you can make? Or it puts them on that level. It puts them in a position to answer that question. Yeah. And they may have a meaningful answer. They may say, oh, well, they're devoted to, you know, being in the U.S. Marine Corps, so they just eat whatever food the Marine Corps gives them and they never question it. There are people who really live in these kinds of highly structured situations. I got one email from a vegan, very sincere vegan, and he, for his job, is required to wear leather boots, and he hates it. You know, he has to have boots that meet a certain safety code, blah blah blah. And he really searched. He absolutely couldn't get anything. You know, there are situations like that I sympathize with. It's not like I'm saying joining the Marine Corps is the greatest job or anything. But if that's the path you're committed to, there are people who are in those kinds of structured situations where they don't choose what they eat, or they don't choose the clothes that they wear or the shoes they wear, where that's out of their power. They're not making those decisions anymore. But yeah, for my professors, what's their excuse, or what's their reason? Why don't they care enough about making some kind of positive difference in the world if they can, when they can? Because you can. Mm-hmm. With veganism, you can. Yeah. And it's definitely stronger to be in a position with veganism or any political movement or ideology where it does not require belief. You don't have to believe in anything to be vegan.
Right.
And it's stronger for that reason. Look at the weakness and the hopelessness, by contrast, of Buddhism. Buddhism's going nowhere in the 21st century. And veganism has grown dramatically in 10, 20 years. And I think we all know it has the power to do so much more. I think as precise goes, it doesn't rest on faith. It doesn't rely on an appeal to belief. So we can go further and faster and make greater use of the human resources we've got. Mm-hmm. More reckless optimism from About Lucille.